Turn the page, live your life every day. Don't let anybody stand in your way.
Hey, Mike Foster here. This is another episode of Whatcha Reading. Where's Mike? Do one just like this. This is, I think, my 9th installment of Whatcha Reading. And you know me, I got a small library behind me. I love to read. I've been reading my whole life, and I love sharing books that I've read with you. And I got a nice mix of fiction and nonfiction. Let's talk about this first one. It's called Wallace. This was a great book. Wallace was a pit bull that was around a time in the early 2000s when pit bulls were getting a bad rap. They still get a bad rap. It was when Mike Vick was, doing those bad dog fights and stuff like that. But Wallace was a pit bull that was put in in one of those facilities, and he was set to be, terminated and euthanized. And well, the people that worked there, they adopted Wallace just to save him, to see if he'd be okay. He tried to train him. He wasn't a bad dog. He was just kind of shy, didn't really get along with the other dogs, but not in a mean way. He never bit. But what he did do is he loved to run, he loved to catch frisbees, and he became one of the greatest frisbee, dog games, whatever they have. They have these Olympics, these championships, and he was the first pit bull to do it because they're not shaped for it. And his name was Wallace. And there's some videos on YouTube about him. You should check it out. It's the underdog who conquered a sport, saved the marriage, and championed pit bulls, one flying disc at a time. I love this book. It was beautiful. And that's him and his master doing some of their stuff. So Wallace was a fantastic, true story. Now, a piece of fiction. This was called The Escape Room by Megan Goldin. British author. And it's got really good blurbs on the back, so I picked it up, and you really can't put it down. It's I'm not going to give away any stories, but it's an act of revenge. It's got the clock ticking. They get some folks in this corporation that are trapped in an elevator, and they have to follow all the signs and what would you call it, messages that come up there, and it's to see how people act in tense situations. And I got to tell you, these people don't act very well. But again, it's an act of vengeance, and because of mistreatment. And I don't want to give a lot away, but if you want an exciting thriller, read The Escape Room. Megan Goldin, great book. All right, I don't like the title because it's a little pretentious. Me. And the author is Elton John, but look at that guy. If anyone's pretentious, it's Elton. And I tell you, Elton John, very, very open-minded, incredibly well-written, and an amazing story. This is his autobiography. I saw Elton John in Las Vegas a few years ago with my wife. He's an amazing character, but you got to remember, this guy, when he first began in the 1970s. He was born in 1947. He's still alive. Of course, he's 72. He just stopped touring. But there's some really interesting stories. He was befriended a lot of famous people, from Lady Di to John Lennon to one of his best friends is Rod Stewart, and they bust each other's chops all the time. But his partnership with Bernie Taupin, that has been over 50 years, was serendipity. John went to try to get a job somewhere. I think it was some kind of contest, and he went there. The guy said, "No, we're not hiring right now, but we're not hiring songwriters." John just didn't want to be a performer. He just wanted to be a songwriter because he was a great pianist, a prodigy actually. And the guy gave him an envelope. He said, "Here's some lyrics of some guy I think that call him, maybe maybe that'll work out." It turned out to be Bernie Taupin, and they were together for 50 years and wrote some of the greatest songs. Rocket Man, Daniel, I'm Still Standing, Candle in the Wind. Great songs if you like Elton John. The other thing is they said when he was like a kid, 1 or 2 years old, he could play the piano, listen to one song, and just be able to sit and play the piano. It's not all sunshine and roses. And John had a very difficult childhood, and of course, being one of the first prominently gay musicians to come out, he's gotten a lot of crap in his life, but I thought it was a great book. Me by Elton John. If you don't feel like reading it, go watch Rocket Man. All right, here's another fiction book. This is by Greg Johnson. This one's called The Western Star. Now, this guy's been on Netflix for several years, and he's written a ton of books. I think this is like his 10th or 12th book. It's the first time I found him, though. I just discovered him. This guy's written, 15, 20 books. And I love this book. It's great. The lead character is big, strong, cowboy, sheriff. You chase the bad guys. This one goes back and forth from the past and then the present, and it was a good mystery. But I tell you, it was really entertaining, and I like. It takes place where? Wyoming or Montana? Yeah, Wyoming law enforcement. And I love reading about different parts of the country, different parts of the world, because it gives you insight without having to get in your car and travel. So check out Craig Johnson. He's also on Netflix. The series is called Longmire, but of course this is what you're reading, not what you're watching, so check out this one. I liked it. And then I got a couple of non-fictions. This one's Colors of the Mountain. Colors of the Mountain by Chen. This is a true story, but a guy who grew up in China back in the 1960s and 70s, where it was the world was so different then. I mean, it's not that great now for a lot of these places, but it was very challenging, and it's a coming-of-age memoir, and about someone who has all the odds are stacked against him. Really, it's not designed to be successful in the way this guy grew up. And again, this goes toward what I just talked about. I like learning about different parts of the world, and this takes you right there. It ends up where this guy comes to the United States, starts a family, becomes a doctor, and becomes very, very successful. And this is just the first chapter, you could say, of his life. He's got other books. This one that have been written since then. This book came out in 1999, so it's been 20 years since then. So I can't wait to read the other ones. His name is Chen. Colors of the Mountain. Highly recommended. It's a great book. And the last one, this is another nonfiction. Boy, this was fun. This is called Unlocking the Sky. And that's by Seth Shulman. And this is about a guy named Glenn Hammond Curtis and his race to invent the airplane. And it was right at the same time when the Wright brothers, everyone remembers Orville and Wilbur Wright, were the first ones to take flight. So he gives them credit for that. But this guy really built some of the best and the earliest planes that even the Wrights couldn't compete with. In fact, they were very jealous of him, and there was lawsuits throughout all their lives together. The Wrights felt like everything that they did was first, even though Glenn Curtis did quite a few things first. And it's fascinating nonfiction. If you want to read some of the things this guy did first, I mean, it's on this page back here. He did things for the aileron, which was something that was needed on the wings to do draft. I mean, he did a shoulder yoke. He actually invented one of the first motorcycles because he needed to figure out something for an airplane. It ended up being a motorcycle. It's called Unlocking the Sky, Seth Shulman. If you want to read really good history about something that you probably didn't really realize was going on, this is a great book. I really enjoyed it, so that's what I'm reading. Lots of nonfiction. I try to read a book a week. I got a video called The Book a Week. That's all I ask. And all I ask from you is to keep reading, keep watching my videos, keep living life 365, and keep telling people about Live Life 365. And check me out on my YouTube channel by the same name. Till next time, peace.
Live life 365.
That's what I'm reading, Sweet Babu. Baba.